been writing for a really long time. I do remember the first story I ever wrote was called The Fox and His Birthday. I was in elementary school. I don't remember much of the story, but I think the title says it all. When I was in middle school, the cool thing was for friends to write stories together. So like all of my friends would have a running document and they would be writing stories together. Like that was a thing to do. But there were always really weird stories, and like I wasn't allowed to partake of those kinds of stories. So then I just started writing on my own, and I always really liked the Percy Jackson series. So I started doing a fan fiction of the Percy Jackson series, and I gave it to my friends to read, and they really liked it. And that's when I first got an inkling. I was like, I can write things that people enjoy. The first piece of work that I published is I Have Something to Say. It is a poetry book, and I published it in college. And this sounds super cliche, but I got like this burst of inspiration. I really did. I just got a bunch of poems that like bubbled up within me. And so then I wrote it down, and then I just kind of went for it and decided to self-publish. I feel that they were like placed within me for a reason, and I think it was one of the first times that I started taking my writing seriously. And so I think it was important for me to like have a project, complete a full project, and then say it's out for everybody. The first novel I published is Undaunted. And I think Undaunted is really cool for a myriad of reasons. One, so when I was in middle school and I was writing that Percy Jackson fan fiction, but then I went to a Christian concert, and one of the messages was talking about laying things down on the altar. I really felt that I was supposed to stop writing that fan fiction, and I think I understand why. Like I don't think it was me utilizing my gift in the right way. After a while, I think God used that for me to start to get, like in the beginning, it was like, hey, you can do this, but then I think there was a time to stop. So I felt that I should stop, so I did, and I cried a lot about it. But then for months, I really struggled with what to write. So I tried writing some short stories, but it didn't, it didn't work out well. So then I remember distinctly, I was down in our family room and I had a desk there, and I sat down and I was just staring at my computer, and I was like, God, give me something to write. And once again, I know this sounds super cliche, but it just hit me. I got like, boom, a first line. I got the first story. I just knew that it would be a story about a kid who was going through struggles and how he made it. I knew that would be the story, and that took 8 years to really refine and get down, but it got out and it got done. My goal in writing is to make books that break chains, save lives, and heals hurts. Books are super powerful. I know people are like, print is dead. Print is not dead. People are reading all the time. So many books are just sending the wrong message, and they're just focusing on the wrong things. Like they just stay focused on struggle or lack or fear or like just horrific things. I want my books to promote hope and to be, especially this first novel series that I have, like it deals with real issues, but throughout it all I want kids to see that there is hope. Like people can go through real issues, but real issues can get better. Not writing sounds insane. Like to not write is like, well, what would I do? It's just, and that's just how I know that that's part of my calling, is because it's just something innately in me. I have to write. Like there are days where I'll try to sometimes take days where if I've been working on a project for a long time and I can tell that I'm getting burnt out, I'll say, okay, I'm not gonna write for the full day because I've just been trying too much to try to push something out. So I'll take a day from it. But there are days where if I don't write, I feel like dysregulated, where like especially writing in the morning. I love to wake up and write in the mornings. Like that's just part of my morning routine. And there have been mornings where I haven't had that routine, and I notice I get really irritable and cranky later in the day. And I'm like, what did I not do? And it's like, I didn't write. I didn't take that time to just get out the story that's in me. I'm starting on a science fiction fantasy series called Ecclesia. And I call it science fiction fantasy just because like it basically like deals with aliens without calling them aliens, but in the sense that it's a world that's not of this world and people that are otherworldly, other earthly. So that's what I'm working on. I'm also working on a third part to the Undaunted series. So that's, and a poetry book. Actually 2 poetry books, now that I think about it. So I'm working on those things. I'm Rachel Dowdell. I'm an author, and this is an Artist Spotlight.